My name is Army Colonel Major Dudek. In 2007, while serving in Iraq, my vehicle was hit by an EFP-type IED. This resulted in an L3, L4 incomplete spinal cord injury. When I was stationed in Korea as a young lieutenant, and this was in 1993 to 96, I chased a young lady that I eventually married named Megan. There was just something about her. She was not only beautiful, but she had a strength about her that it was like a magnet. I knew as soon as I met her that I wanted to marry her. So I did 3 years in Korea just trying to get that woman to stay by my side. And you know, I got the better end of the deal. At this point, it's really hard for me to remember back to 1986. You know, I knew I was going to go to some college, but I really wanted to just serve. I wanted to do something that was going to be difficult in life. I didn't want to get some simple desk job. And so they just said, join the reserves. I went to airborne school at basic training between my junior and senior year of high school. So I already had airborne wings and parachute rigger wings when I went to RTC, and I just feel like I had to step up, but I just loved it. So I got to be really good at my craft. So I was on my A game when I went to Iraq. I rarely left the forward operating base, the FOB. I was usually with the brigade headquarters. And that day when I was wounded, I wasn't supposed to go out that day. We're traveling on these tactical roads. I'm turning near a town called Hussainiyah. I called in my first target. And so as we're creeping, when you have an EFP threat, which we knew was there, so either you're going 70 miles an hour trying to blow right through an area and make them time it miss, or you're going 5 miles an hour trying to make sure if you see the wires, you see different things. So we were going 5 miles an hour. I remember getting nervous. Sure enough, boom, my legs feel like they're this big and they're like porcupine needles, and they just feel like they're blown up, but I can't move them that well. You know, and we all have these headsets on, and so there was a boom. They heard it, but they're also fighting now. And so they didn't realize us in the back were wounded, and so they were hit, and they kind of popped back down like the eyes this big, like who's hit? And then before I knew it, I was at Walter Reed. Having loved ones with your recovery as somebody who's wounded is critical. You see the difference between people who have their family there and people who don't. It's drastic, the difference. And I just remember being in the ICU with all the stupid blinky lights and noises, and hey, your wife's coming, and it's just, you're just a little scared about it, I'm messed up now. So, when she turns the corner, what's it gonna be like? And so I just remember when she turns the corner and she smiles, it's gonna be okay. That we're still gonna have this amazing life together, and I'm gonna figure it out. I have incomplete paralysis from the waist down. So I'm not really a paraplegic. I'd be qualified because I can walk with braces, limited distances. And that's really only because of the speed. If they would have taken another hour, then I would be a paraplegic. Well, I have a 2-story house near the Fort Lewis, Washington, now Joint Base Lewis McChord. So when we moved back, my wife was like, that's it, we're gonna renovate the house. So we tried to start using my special adaptive housing grant. I realized that very few people really understand how to use it. So my wife actually, at her chiropractor, said, I know somebody who helps wounded and ill soldiers. I didn't know he's a Homes for Troops contractor, a builder. And so he came out and he was like, well, what's going on? He was like, geez, what happened to your house? And so he actually introduced me to Homes for Our Troops. He took me to key ceremonies and let me participate in volunteer days. And then you really get to see the magic of this organization. The homes were perfect for me. So I rolled right in, and I'm not banging in the corners. There's room for me to turn around, and just the functions of the house, being able to, the closets, to be able to pull those things down, the drawers in the kitchen, to be able to utilize the kitchen if she has to go to Korea like she did just recently. Having a house that's actually a place where I can, not rely on her when we get to the house. I can actually do the things I need to do and let her relax too, so she can enjoy the events with me. But it's also gonna allow me to maybe reach out and volunteer and do some more impactful things that I have yet to kind of discover. There's so many things actually that I'm interested in, from adaptive sports to helping paralyzed veterans get more out of the Americans with Disability Act and working with legislation. There's just an endless list of things that I want to do now, and I feel enabled by Homes for Our Troops. For me, Homes for Our Troops is an organization that enables the future that I really want. I can't say thank you enough, honestly. And I think when you hear different people talk about it, it's true. You just can't say thank you enough for people who give of their time, give of their money, give of their, desire to look at a population and say that they need a little bit of help and freely give of themselves to make sure that people who serve and people who have done things for the country are taken care of. It's just such a wonderful gift that they're given to allow their neighbor to thrive when they know they could.